We've got Cam, we've got Mo, we've got Steve, we've got Sia. Welcome back, gents. First match reaction of the new campaign. I hope you're all well. KJ, Man United today didn't come out on top, but what did you make of it?
Considering that this is our first proper-ish game, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty pleased with what I saw. We looked more of a team. And that was the main thing that we saw last season that we didn't have, is that we didn't look like a team. We was conceding shots left, right, and center. And today, defensively, there were sketchy moments, especially in the first 25 minutes. But we galvanized, we grew into the game, and we got better and better as the game got on. And that shows that a team that wants to play for each other, the team that's together, and moving forward, a team that would hopefully win more football matches. I can't really complain about that. The players today did the best that they could, and we got a result. We got a draw in the end, and
in the game,
and losing on pens, you can't really be too mad at that. Unlucky for Sancho and Evans to be ones missing. The two people that you probably think who would probably miss out of the squad, it'll be Sancho and Evans. And
wasn't a United fan who thought Sancho was scoring that penalty.
Yeah. As soon as I saw Evans walk up, I knew he was done in it.
I didn't want him to, but as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh no, because of the story, because of the online stuff. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, what did you make? The biggest problem we had last year, outside of converting chances, was our midfield being run through. We know we're probably going to sign Ugarte, maybe somebody else. What did you make of the midfield setup for Man United today? Do you see differences compared to last season?
Yeah, we are a bit more compact. There are still moments where we were getting ran through, but I think that was after a sequence of both teams losing the ball through trying to play forward passes. So obviously at some point there'd be massive holes. But as a whole, we're getting better in the midfield. We definitely need more legs in there. Casemiro played well, but he can't do that for the entire season anymore. That's just not him anymore, So we need some midfield reinforcements. But overall, the midfield is more compact. They're keeping the ball slightly better, and they're making Bruno's job easier. I think one of the reasons why obviously Bruno last season had a very iffy season was because he was doing so much. He had to come and drop deep, play the ball and run forward and defend. So he had to do so much last season that he lost a bit of his game. Today's game, the midfield was just solid. They was able to get Bruno in advanced positions to do what he can do well, which was create chances and potentially score goals. Obviously, he had a great goal, short off offside, and he played some good balls today, which is what we want him to do. So overall, some midfield signings in there, and you can start to see what Man United can do with that midfield, especially with Bruno closest to the strikers.
I hear that. From an outsider's perspective, Mo, you're very scathing, and rightly so, last season of Manchester United. Did you see any differences in the play today from United fans to be encouraged about?
No, I didn't. You kept the ball at the back, which is fine, but it was empty position. But the chances were created by diagonal ball, by individual brilliance from Bruno Fernandes, which is, he can do that. We know that Bruno Fernandes can pick the ball and pick the right pass. I still think that I can't judge Manchester United until Lisandro Martinez plays in the center back and Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire are the team. They tried to pass from the back. They barely got it to Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro in good positions. Many times, Manchester United at the back, they were trying to play that position-based football, get Kobe Mainoo comfortably on the ball. Manchester City were aware of it. But this is Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. I can't judge this game and say that Manchester United, they look different. A little bit of what KJ said. Yeah, compact defensively, the lines were closer. But at the end, it is still creating the chances from the big diagonal balls to Amad Diallo, like the long balls to Marcus Rashford. That's what I thought, to be honest. But I have to give it to Casemiro today. About 5 tackles, 3 of them inside the 18, about 6 interceptions and dispossessing the opposition. Looks like he looks fit, thinner, more fit, can run more. I have to give it to him. He looks way, way more fit than the start of last season. Of course, we cannot say that Kobe Mainoo is fit and Bruno Fernandes, but I'm looking at this team and I still want to see Manchester United with the starting 11 with a proper left back. Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire, they can pass the ball all day to Onana, right? but it's not getting anywhere. Manchester City kept Manchester United having the ball at the back until it gets to the midfield, but it's trapped because the two center backs of Manchester United cannot play the ball from the back, which is a big part of how you played in the first season when Lisandro Martinez was a key factor in that central midfield. That's my point.
Question, to challenge you on your point
Yes.
of all our attacks came from just long balls
Yeah, I
and
disagree with
switches.
that.
What happened about those two opportunities we created from interplay?
They aren't long ball. Okay, KJ, they aren't long. I said there is a difference between a long looping ball and actually a diagonal ball to a winger. You literally played that
but I'm not
diagonal
I'm
balls.
talking about the interplay at the edge of the box. We did it twice with Ahmad trying to square it to Mount and then Rashford getting a shot off and he missed. What about those things? We weren't seeing that last season.
It was. I think that chance was still a ball that was played directly, not through the midfield to Amad Diallo.
No,
that ball was still
Casemiro
played.
played the ball through. It was Casemiro played it through to Ahmad.
Yeah, what I would say, Mo, is this though. I've got no issue. Look, this is where I agree and I disagree with you. What you've said about you can't judge the team until we've got our proper defense and how we play from the back. I agree with that. But the difference was today is we have bemoaned Man United for not trying to play a style of football because we didn't have the personnel. Where today they were trying to do it. And as much as I got frustrated, well, listen, I have got no hate.
Johnny Evans.
But this is my point. This season, when everyone's back, he's our fifth choice centre back. I have no frustration with him struggling to do in his late 30s what the modern day defender has been trained to do. What I was encouraged by is that we tried to do it. I've got no issue with us going long every now and then because Man City do that. And we saw it in. So everybody does that. Where I disagree with your point is you created because of Bruno's individual brilliance. Well, if we would have had the individual brilliance in central midfield today of Yoro and Lisandro Martinez, then we would have played out from the back better. This is where I believe the phrase of individual brilliance, it was used as an attack against Man United when Bruno first came to the club, but you need it because without the individual brilliance of Haaland's finishing, without the individual brilliance of Ederson's feet, without the individual brilliance of Rodri's control of the game, without the individual brilliance of KDB's creativity, City wouldn't be who City are. Their system would still be great, but it would fall short if you took those players out and put Scott McTominay, Johnny Evans, David De Gea, and I don't know, a crocked Martial in their team. They would still probably play nice football, but it would fall short. So I get where you're coming from. And this is what I said earlier. We are nowhere near the finished article. I'm encouraged by things I saw today, but that's it. It's a case of much more needed. Get out in the transfer window, buy more players. But I felt improvements. Like, how did you see it, Cam, from a United's perspective?
Yeah, so for me, I got a lot to I think there's a lot to talk about today, which is nice. Normally there hasn't been. Normally you come out of a United game and you're like, same old shit, man. Like, I think I completely hear Mo saying when it comes to trying to play out from the back, but I do think we created a lot more today than we have probably in like the last 4 games outside the FA Cup game that we played. We played football today. That's something that it looked nice. Like there's a term used in hockey in Canada. I like doing this to rile up the fans here in the chat. It's called a line change. When we did a line change, when we brought on
it up. I watched Mighty Ducks.
No, but 4 players came on, 4 players went off, and we looked the same. That's never been a thing. Like, we actually looked like we were still playing the same style of football, which was really nice to see. Mount didn't look out of place, which is important for me. I mean, I'm not saying he was amazing, but he didn't look out of place. Last year, he didn't look like he deserved to be on the pitch. He didn't look like.
What is his role? Can you tell me what is his role, Cam? Please.
Well, today his role was he was just pressing high and just trying to recycle the ball and just making. Like, he wasn't. I get it. He wasn't doing anything crazy, but he didn't look out of.
Bro, I kept trying, bro. I kept trying.
Sorry, who? Scott McTominay.
Mason Mount. Cam described him really well. He's running around trying to press and recycle. But that was it.
I agree, but that's why it's about taking the positive, but knowing this is a long and winding road.
Yeah. Listen,
I
started that with saying he didn't look out of play. Did not say he looked.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
He didn't look awful.
He didn't look terrible. Yeah. So that's just a depth piece, right? What I really love to see from us was I think there was a clear direction on being direct. A lot of the times when we won the ball, we let City play with the ball a lot in the first half. And I'm okay with that. If you're going to just not really do anything and pass around, I'm fine with that. They didn't create much in the first 20 minutes. And then every time we got on the ball, it seemed like we turned and tried to be very direct, which I know some people talk about that football and don't like it, but I like that football. When you look up and you look for the runners. When we got the ball to Ahmad, when we got the ball to Garnacho, and for God's sakes, United fans, let's not start Garnacho versus Ahmad. I don't want that because I can feel it. It's going to happen. But we now look like our wingers look good. People are coming down on Rashford, as they should, for missing the chances. But Rashford today made a bunch of great runs. He made the right decisions. At the end of the day, he got missed on two very big runs. There was one run where Bruno normally would have seen him. It was an overlap, and he went to Scott instead of Rashford. Rashford would have been clear through. Now, I can't say he would have scored because he was clear through on Garnacho's and missed. But he also missed him earlier on a play where I was shocked he missed him again. It was Rashford going out wide, and Bruno shot. And normally Bruno always finds Rashford. So Rashford today, at the end of the day, the problem we've always had with him was not making the right decisions, making the wrong runs, looking like he just wants to get on the ball and run with his head down. He didn't do that today. So it looks like there's some coaching there. So that's where my positives are coming from, seeing us play the same way when we had multiple players come in and out. We clearly were trying to play from the back, even though it looked terrible with Evans and, whatnot. I think I said this to Staffy the other day about Ugarte and Casemiro. Ugarte, for me, at this stage, is a better version. He's a younger, he's a stronger, faster version of Casemiro. He's not going to have Casemiro's class because Casemiro's Casemiro. He's not who he is, but it's still, you know what I'm trying to say. But you bring in Ugarte, and now you have a player who can be the rock of your midfield if we can bring him in. He can really sit there and do what Cass did today. I don't expect Cass to do what he did today. Maybe not in the Fulham game, but we need that. So for me, the positives are we didn't get ran off the pitch. We looked like we were playing football. We didn't allow Haaland to score a hat trick, even though it was a friendly game, as some of the Chelsea fans like to talk about. Oh, just a Chelsea. And I said this coming into the season. For me, huge success will be is Onana getting peppered, and he didn't. He didn't get peppered. He didn't take 15, 20 shots today. He took 7, 8, 9 shots, and that's like
do you know what, Cam? The greatest thing you've said that I didn't even think about it. When we made the subs, I sat. It was about 65 minutes.
Yeah,
and I sort of just said out loud, do you know what? Whatever happens now, I'm reviewing the first 65 minutes because when I saw Scott, and then in fairness as well, for the first 2 minutes after the substitution, Bruno was on the left, Rashford was in the middle, and I'm like, what the hell has he done to the shape? But once we settled. You are right. You could actually argue we got stronger. And I think that was fresh legs as an example. And it was, you know what's really crazy today? And maybe we're Man United fans, so we really analyze it when our team plays. But I just felt like we kept things more basic today. And basic is best sometimes. It didn't feel overcomplicated. We did make mistakes, and no one's going to sit here and say we didn't. But the best players in the world make mistakes. We should all do a watch along one day when we're watching the best team in the world and have like a foghorn that goes off every time the best player on the pitch does something wrong. I bet you got a headache after 10 minutes because when you actually look for the mistakes, they exist.
Sorry, one more point. Go on, bro. Today we desperately it showed we need a center forward always on the pitch. Like there was a lot of balls that
comes to the super chat. Before I go to